Here we go. Here we go. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Tell a friend, tell a friend. Here we have another crazy story. Another crazy story. Little Durk. They saying he's not behaving himself like a good boy behind the bars, like how he's supposed to. That's what they're saying. They're saying that little Durk is behind the bars, breaking all the rules. And that's one of the reasons why they do not want to give him a bail. Think about it. No bail. But what's going on with little Durk, though, don't forget, he's only 32 years old. Not only is he only 32 years old, he's a multimillionaire. So he's a young man in his prime, and he's locked in a cage like an animal. Naturally, you're going to react. You're going to react viciously if you can, because you're locked in a cage like a wild animal. Any animal you put them in a cage for the first time, they're going to, let me out. So that's what Lil Durk's going through right now. So they're saying he's using other individuals' phones. He's having other individuals make phone calls for him, which is against the prison rules. Don't forget, there's rules everywhere you go. Think about that. Man-made rules everywhere you go. So Lil Durk, he's being subjected to man-made rules right now, and he has no choice but to listen to them. If not, they're gonna paint him as as an individual who he is, or who he's being accused of being, someone who doesn't want to abide by man-made rules. Here we go. But what Lil Durk's being accused of is not a man-made rule, unfortunately. It's a biblical rule. Do not do bad things onto other people. That's if you're a religious person. But Lil Durk is placed in a position right now where he's rich and he's young and he's locked up and he wants to get free. But in between wanting to get free and being locked up, he's saying to himself, you know what? I'm the man. I'm Smirkio. All these other individuals around me, they're all down and out. It's like when I was in a free society and all the individuals who were around me, most of them for the most part, they were all down and out. That's why I was able to take advantage of them, give them money to do this, go hang out with someone's, you know what I mean. So Lil Durk is saying, you know what? I'm still around down and out individuals. So what he's doing right now, he's saying, you know what, let me use your phone, make a phone call, and they say he's making 3-way phone calls. But here's the thing right here, Lil Durk is not realizing that a whole lot of individuals who are behind the bars with him right now, they actually get paid to stay in the jail cells. Imagine that. My job is to stay in the jail cell. Some of their jobs is to stay in the jail cell and just have friendly conversations with you. They just say, butter you up. Say, man, you shouldn't be in here. Man, it's bogus how they treat you, man. You can use my phone. Then Lil Durk start thinking about, you know what? Keep in mind, his back's against the wall. He wants to get out. He's in his prime. He's locked up. He's a wild animal. He's treated like a wild animal. So he said, you know what? All right. I use your phone. I make a phone call. Just call such and such for me. Don't forget, the phone, being behind the bars, the phone becomes your best friend. The phone becomes your everything, because that's the only way of communicating with the outside world. You need to know what's going on, especially if you have children, especially if you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. You want to talk to that significant other. If you can't, it drives you crazy inside. But they said Lil Durk is using other individuals' phones, and they think he might be, trying to get other individuals to do things to his witnesses, allegedly. I don't know. But I'm trying to figure out, doesn't Lil Durk know that all calls are recorded? All calls are recorded in free society. So for a fact that all calls are recorded behind the bars. Plus, believe it or not, they actually tell you your call is being recorded while you're making a phone call. But don't forget, most criminals are not smart. they will hear that you're being recorded and still talk about things you're not supposed to talk about. You know what they say to themselves? Well, I could talk in code. They could all talk in codes. You know, they wasn't able to talk in codes to prevent them from coming behind the bars. But for some reason, once they get behind the bars, now they know how to talk behind in codes. I don't know. They're so delusional. They're even more delusional when they go behind the bars. Yeah, 5 hats, 25 Snickers. You got 2 cans. You know, got that dog food. You know, whole pound. You know, they start making up words and they think they're the only one who can understand what they're saying. Here we go. Here we go. So Lil Durk right now, he's placed in a position where they say he's not following the rules. He's making phone calls because he's breaking down right now. He's breaking down right now. You know, he wants to be free. So he's getting to the point right now where basically anything goes. He's no longer the same Durk that he was yesterday or the day before. He's realizing right now that he can spend the rest of his life in jail forever. He's realizing that these individuals who's in a jail cell with him are just like individuals who are on the outsides. They're not his friends. So Lil Durk is realizing how serious life is right now. He's finally realizing that the world is a brutal place. And, you know, he's finally realizing what's really going on in the real world. He's finally realized why his father decided to change his life and just focus on on becoming a Muslim. He's finally getting it right now. He's finally realize, you know what? I'm being watched every second. Everything I say, someone's listening to my conversations. I have no more privacy anymore. I can no longer use a bathroom by myself. I can no longer take a shower by myself. I can no longer do anything without someone else knowing what I'm doing. It's crazy. So that's what's going on with Lil Durk right there. Don't forget, not having access to that phone, it's like not having access to anything at all. You know? But they say Lil Durk's not being a good boy. So I figure it's just a matter of time before he takes a plea deal. He probably caught for 30 years. I think he's gonna cop for 30 years. Because either 30 years or life. Imagine that. He said, you know what? Maybe if my father could do 25, I could do 30. Probably, hopefully, if everything goes well, they take off 5 years and I serve 25 years, just like my dad. Unbelievable. Believe it or not, a whole lot of these individuals would love to be like their dad. I told you a story before. I know a friend of mine when I was younger. He told me one time, my father's in the feds. But when he said it, he was so proud. Like that was an accomplishment. And unfortunately, many years later, he ended up his father, I believe, got like 25 years or 30. Unfortunately, many years later, he ended up in the feds just like his father. But how he said it, oh, my father's in the feds. Like, that's an accomplishment. He basically was bragging that his father's a failure. Unbelievable. I heard Lil Durk say, you know what? A rat sent my father to jail. No. I said his father committed crimes. He went behind the bars. He realized how rough the world is. He decided to change his life. Now Lil Durk's in the same position as his daddy. They say crime don't pay, but I seen him do it though. But Lil Durk, he want to make 3 phone calls. Imagine that. Smirk you.